Welcome to our podcast, It's About Payroll. We're your hosts, Brian Escobar and Walter William Duncan III. Whether you're new to the payroll game or a seasoned veteran, we have something for you. Welcome back, folks. This is episode 126 on It's About Payroll, 37 on It's About Your Paycheck, and we're talking Texas deductions today. But before we get into it, how you doing, sir?
Man, I am good. It's another Monday. It's almost
Yes, sir.
October. It's
Oh, I was
in,
gonna say, yeah.
quarter
Oh shit,
in,
that's right. It's quarter in.
or
Yep,
down to the nitty gritty, year in.
that's
Time to
it.
start
Fourth,
getting ready for that. Fourth quarter fun.
yeah, fourth quarter fun
Yep.
for all you employees out there. Y'all need to go and update your addresses and your systems. If you have
Mhm.
an employee self-service system, go update your address.
It,
Go
al-
update your tax
yeah,
withholdings.
it
All
almost
that good stuff.
it almost seemed like you were going to say update your resume, but all right, some of you may have to update your resume if you're looking for something new.
Yeah, this is a good time for that too. Update your resume.
Mm,
I heard somebody say, "Oh, it's not a good time for hiring." That's a lie. Every time's a good time for hiring. If
mhm.
companies don't wait to
Yeah.
hire, they need somebody, they put in the ad out to hire. What else? Yeah, so you got there. This is Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yep. It's September 15th through October 15th. So that's
Yeah,
that's
I
when they
always thought that
celebrate it.
was
Yeah.
weird. Like, why is it not an actual month? It's 30 days, but it's
Yeah.
not a, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? At least Black History Month has the month of February.
Yeah.
Why Hispanic Heritage got to be all broken up? And
Oh man. Yeah. I didn't make it.
I know I could talk snap about it though.
Yeah, and then October
Yeah.
is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month as
Oh,
well.
that's dope. Hey, God
So
bless all those survivors.
yeah, I can't say the expletive, but F cancer.
F cancer. Yup,
Yeah,
we could say it. We could say that for sure. God bless the dead for all those who've
yeah,
passed and we lost for that, man. It's tough. Cancer sucks, man. F
yep,
cancer, word up.
yep.
Man, what else, man? What else is going on?
Man, I'll just get right into it, man, with my news update. Then
Go
just
for it.
a brief news update. I'm sure a lot of you, whether you're an employee or payroll pro or HR pro, you've probably been seeing this in the news. There's a looming strike with the ports on the eastern and Gulf ports that may be impacting us in the future. So they have until midnight to get a deal. So
Oh, midnight tonight?
midnight tonight.
Wow.
So I read an article out there that said a lot of the rails are trying to expedite shipping and get stock up on supplies and all that stuff, because if this hits, they're saying that we could feel it as consumers, right? So
We will.
yeah,
Not maybe, we will.
so there's an analyst out there, analysis out there that said that the cost could be $5 billion
Billion. Absolutely.
per
Ooh, per day. Good
per
gosh.
day that
But
this
wait.
strike could cost. Yeah, man.
Uh, yeah, no, absolutely. I saw a TikTok post that dudes were already clocking out.
Yeah.
Like the shop steward or whoever
Hmm.
the leader on the floor was like, "Yo, if you're in union, blah blah blah, clock out. Let's go. It's time to go
Yeah.
home."
Yep.
You know.
And that's what they're saying. They're saying stock up on canned goods now. Stock up on those non-perishables and stuff, because look, they're saying they're making progress. They're doing
Oh,
updates
okay.
hourly, so they're saying they're
Oh,
making
okay.
progress.
Okay.
So there's a chance that they would get something done by midnight tonight. It's always better to be safe than sorry.
I mean, it'll be ugly tomorrow
Yeah.
at the grocery store if
If
this
it,
happens. If they go, like,
yep.
I may have to stop before I go to work, do some
Some canned
things
goods.
and
Yep. Get some. Look,
yeah,
man.
whatever it is.
I told my lady, I was like, hey, we'll get some rice and beans, stuff like we
Yo,
enjoy eating anyway. We got some frozen
no
veggies,
doubt. Ramen.
some ramen, like
Yo.
simple things that we can like just stock up on and have just in
Yeah.
case.
Oh yeah. Look, some of the posts that I saw, they said, "Where are we, Tom?" Because we rambling on. Some of the posts I saw was like giving timelines on things. Like it'll
Hmm.
be like a week or two before this starts going down. Time stuff like that. So, but people are gonna panic,
Yeah.
and not everybody's like us that we're like.
Yeah.
Watching all this news and consuming all the news, all they're gonna hear is, "Go get this,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
get toilet paper."
Yeah. And look, that's going to
You know
cause
what I mean?
chaos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And before I pass the baton over to you for your updates, there's two things I want to point out. Is the they said that shipping fees may be lumped into the prices that consumers pay, so the consumer costs. So they may, like, because stuff is not being shipped, like increase prices and put that amount into how much we're paying for stuff. Supply and demand, right? That's crazy,
Yeah,
right? And so
yeah.
the conspiracy theorist in me is, man, the timing of it is just like crazy. Like the Fed just decreased,
Dropped.
by what was half of a percentage, like
I
0.5
don't know,
percent.
but I remember they dropped it by something.
Yeah, it was a pretty large amount, as they said, right? And
Yeah.
so now it's just like, okay, look, but these people,
It's funny, right? Because, well, it's not funny. It's funny, but this all goes into your paycheck,
yeah,
right? This is a time where you need to go and hit Costco, hit BJ's,
yeah,
hit Sam's Club, hit Walmart. You know what I mean? If you're trying to
yeah,
stretch your dollar here,
yeah. A good point is that you can shop at Sam's without a membership too.
remember, really?
Yeah, Sam's, I
Oh, I
think.
didn't know that.
Yeah, you can shop at Sam's without a membership too. So
Most of them will let you do that first day trial, right?
yeah,
You could try it out today, type a guest thing or whatever.
yep,
But everybody knows somebody with a membership. Go ahead and hit them up. You know what I
hmm,
mean?
yeah,
Walmart, you do not need a membership. People don't like going to Walmart,
yeah,
but Walmart has great prices and you could really stretch a dollar.
yeah,
Anywho,
yep. So there's a 10% fee. So you can go in to get
oh,
your
they
guest
upcharge
membership.
10%.
They'll give you a 10% fee. Yep.
It's not bad. You saving money by going to the big box places. Just point is, if you're worried about this and you are tight budgeted, right? Go try to stretch your dollar, get those non-perishables, go get the things
Yeah,
hey, your electricity is not going anywhere. So
yeah,
let's keep some sanity in mind here,
yeah,
right? Our electricity's not going, the grocery store's not closing, right? None of that, but stuff may run out.
yep,
And it's going to take a while before all these places run out of everything.
yeah.
We
True.
got to, you know what I mean? We got to keep our sanity.
You know what it reminds me of? It takes me back, and then you can go with your updates. It takes me
Yeah.
to pandemic times. People were
Yes.
stocking up on toilet paper,
Absolutely.
TP,
Things
and
like what?
paper towels.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
stocking up on all that stuff.
Mhm.
People were fighting in the stores. It was crazy, pandemonium.
Yep. Yeah, no, for sure. No, it's worthwhile to talk about and to shoot. There's not really not going to post until next week, so
Yeah,
hopefully we're not in this stage anymore. All of this be a moot point.
yeah, yeah.
But
Hopefully,
yeah, just keep your sanity, keep your wits about you. Understand really what's going on. It's the products that are in a threat of being delivered. Pay attention to the news. Pay attention to things. But anywho, I did like a rundown style for
hmm,
mine here. Is a bunch of I'm not gonna get into depth. Like the links will be in the show notes. The first one is remote rage. Amazon is man and um, Amazon amongst a bunch of companies now are jumping on the back to office trend,
yeah,
mandating people back to the office,
hmm,
and there's some employees at Amazon that are just in a rage about it.
hmm.
So that's one of them. And then city scrutiny.
Citibank. Oh
Is
wow.
Citibank is tightening the security and monitoring of employees on misconduct and things like that. I think that if you read the article, it's leaning toward they're having problems with third party with contractors. As we've seen before, when you hire third party people and vendors and outside, you have good control on your employees, but
Hmm,
these third parties, right? These vendors, they are the ones who present a risk to your security and a risk to your policies and procedures. So they're really scrutinizing that, and they're trying to make it like, hey, if you work here for us in any capacity, you got to adhere to these rules. So there's some city scrutiny out there. And then the last one is Tesla home invasion. Tesla is cracking down on sick time in Germany. They are literally visiting people's houses who claim they're
no, they're
home
not.
sick. Yes, bro, that's the article. I don't know if it's true or not, but the article is that's what it says. They're visiting people home. I've only heard of those things in court cases where somebody's suing the company for disability. Oh, I broke my back, but then
Hmm,
the investigators catch them putting up the shutters and doing things around the house while they claim to be hurt. I've heard about in respect and those dynamics, but just hey, I'm homesick for the week or whatever.
Wow.
You knocking on doors because people
Wow. I
crazy.
just pulled it up. It says they're going there to appeal to the employees' work ethic.
What? I don't,
Wow.
Tesla home invasions.
That's crazy.
Anywho, yeah, it's crazy, bro. I saw all these things and I was like, yo, you know what? I'm sharing all this nonsense, craziness, man.
Oh
Come
my
on.
gosh, bro.
Come on. Before we get into the main topic, let's pay the bills. Shout out to Time Track Go. Time Track Go has introduced an innovative new feature designed to simplify time tracking for both the exempt and non exempt, meaning salary and hourly employees. And this feature aligns with the recent changes in the FLSA, the Fair Labor Standards Act, for salaried employees.
By automatically calculating standard 40-hour work weeks and accurately determining overtime when necessary, Time Track Go ensures precise employee time while maintaining accurate PTO balances. Additionally, the system can identify instances where non exempt employees may not have reached the 40-hour threshold. To learn more, please contact Time Track Go at 888-321-9922 or visit www.timetrackgo.com. That is TIMETRAK go.com. Let's go.
Let's go. So again, our main topic today, we're talking Texas deductions. We're gonna be on a state thread, and maybe we'll break it up every now and then. We throw some true crime in there. I was feeling the true crime vibe earlier. I was like, oh,
Hmm.
we gotta do a true crime. So
Yeah.
maybe on the next one we'll do true crime and then get back to it. But we've finally taken up that mantle of delivering the state by state tax gems, the goodies, the nuggets, the free game that we need to empower employees. If you work in Texas, if you're a W-2 employee in Texas, here's what you need to know. You
Hmm.
must give consent in Texas for Texas deductions, meaning in Texas, an employee's paycheck is strictly regulated under the Texas payday law. So an employer can only deduct wages for certain conditions. Easy as one, two, three. One is court ordered deductions. Think child support, think alimony. Two is deductions required by law. Think what's in your paycheck already, the federal deduction for taxes, Social Security, Medicare, right? And three is written consent for the employee. And this is the catch all. If you give written consent, they can take it out of your
Hmm.
check,
Hmm.
but you have to give written consent. So think about one, two is mandated,
Yeah.
but three, you as an employee must give written consent. So think about that. Look at your check and say, wait a minute, what's coming out of my check? And make sure the deduction codes that are coming out of your check. I've
Yeah.
told this story many times. I had an employee once upon a time that went a whole year with getting the wrong state deducted from their check.
Hmm.
And then at the end of the year, when they went to do taxes, they were like, oh my God, the state. Now, this wasn't an illegal deduction. It was an
Hmm.
erroneous deduction because the employee didn't catch it,
Yep.
right? So these are little things. But if you're not paying, the point is pay attention to your check. And if you're in Texas, it's legally bound. These things don't come out. Now, medical benefits also, that's a written consent, by the way. You're
Hmm.
signing off on medical benefits. You're saying, I want, if it's digital or if it's in paper, when you do open enrollment, you're giving written consent
Yeah.
to get those medical deductions to get taken out.
Yeah.
In Texas, you must consent.
Yeah. All right. Great stuff, man. So
Thank
for
you, sir.
me, we'll talk about two different things. One is wage overpayments, right? So that happens. It happens in payroll. Somebody forgot to clock out as an employee, and the manager didn't missed it during time edits.
Hmm.
This person got
Hmm.
overpaid, and
Yep.
now you have to take those funds back.
Yep.
In Texas, you still need to get written employee authorization, as Brian was speaking
Yes.
to, right? So it is legal, it is permissible under
Yep.
the FLSA as long as the employer documents those wages that are paid, even if that deduction reduces the employee's pay below minimum wage.
Ooh, wow, that's crazy.
So the employer can take it, you
Because
know.
they're giving written consent.
Yeah.
It's consent.
And then also something that I found interesting is that there's deductions that an employer can take, and this is good for U.S. employees, for the employees that are listening.
Yep.
This is good for the Texas employees that are listening. That employers can deduct for fees such as interest on loans and admin fees
Mm.
that are classified as employer cost, right?
Yes.
So if an employer loans you money,
That's a good one.
and some employers do that,
Yeah.
they can charge interest.
Advances,
Yeah,
loan. Yeah. An advance is really a loan,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So
It's all how the employer pays.
the employer can do that. It goes back to that employee providing that authorization in writing, and the deduction doesn't reduce your pay below minimum wage. Um, and so Texas employ law permits employers to charge certain administrative fees for garnishments. You can charge $10 a month for child support. You can charge $5 a month for spousal support
Oh, as like a fee to do it for you?
to process that.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So it says, while
Wow.
now the caveat is while Texas allows for those fees to be taken, they may violate FLSA if it brings that employee's wages below minimum wage, right? And
Oh, okay.
so that is one thing you want to think about and understand. So, employers generally cannot deduct costs related to business operations such as tools, uniforms, transportation, if it would take an employee's pay below minimum wage again. But it doesn't, then they can deduct for uniforms, those tools, and stuff like that in Texas. So,
Wow.
FLSA, just for you payroll pros, if you're new out there, or even if you may know this or you may not know this,
You
but
may not know it, yeah.
deductions that benefit the employer, such as uniforms, are considered part of the cost of business under FLSA. So you might want to check out FLSA and see what it says about deductions and that benefit the employer and what deductions are classified or what those things are. So you want to
Yeah.
find out what that is. So one of the key points for compliance for employers is, as Brian and I spoke to, written authorization.
Yep.
It's essential for deductions.
Yep.
And you want to be mindful of deductions that could violate minimum wage laws or impact overtime pay. And in this case, you might want to consider getting legal counsel. It's
Yes.
recommended,
If it
right?
gets, yep.
Get
If
some
it gets
clarity.
new.
Get some
Yeah.
clarity because a lot of these issues are complex with these wage.
Especially if the company's pushing back and like they
Yeah,
don't want to help you understand. Like, what?
yeah,
Oh, let me
yeah.
you can dial up a lawyer.
And you may need to know as the employee what is considered written. Is that, do they mean that with a pen, like handwritten? Email, just email, and most times
It
email is,
now
you know.
that's acknowledgement that like you got to respond in email.
Mhm,
That's a good point though, because what I was gonna say is be careful when you're getting a new job
mhm,
and you're signing all your new hire stuff,
mhm.
because sometimes it's buried in there. You know what you're signing off on, or it's
Yep,
in your handbook. How many times I told
yep,
you it's at least $100 worth of knowledge in that handbook that you got to read, and that right there. If you're signing off on your handbook and it's in your handbook, guess what? You just signed off on getting deductions from your pay without like prior notice.
yep,
They could just start taking money out of your paycheck. So you got to read your handbook, folks. And ideally, it's separate. It's a separate consent form. Hey, deductions. I've seen that as well. I think that's the better way companies should frame it, as a separate form that says, hey, deductions from your check for what they draw out the reasons, what you can, and then you're signing off on that. And look, if you don't want to sign it, you don't sign it. You know what I mean? And
mhm,
then when kind of go with it from there, lawyers will have a field day if, because I know people are like, oh, we can't afford a lawyer for that. Believe me, they'll give you a free consult on that just because. And then if you don't want to call a lawyer, if you want to be like, oh man, I don't want to do all that, threaten, ask help. If your company's not helping you, they should help. They should have no problem explaining these things to you.
yep,
If they do have a problem, say, hey, you know what, I'm going to have to call a lawyer then, thanks.
yeah.
That should prompt them enough to be like,
It
whoa, hold
should, it
on,
should. But some of these
hold on
companies,
now.
they don't.
Well,
They
it
don't.
I think is a bad employee at that
Yeah,
point. If it
yeah,
gets that, if the you get past that, that means your employees aren't trained well enough to understand. Hey, you people start threatening lawyers, you got to escalate that. Hold on, let me get my manager to call you back. Things like that.
yeah.
If you're an employee in that situation and you don't have the authority, do not piss that person off. You need to say, hey, keep them on ice and say, let me get my manager to call you back. We don't want you to that. I'm not explaining it. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Get crazy.
yep,
But I think that's a great call out in Texas is just you must have consent. And there are a bunch of other states out there that are like that.
yeah,
As we roll on for employees, be aware of those little things in your states that are happening. There's ways to look it up. Hit us up on LinkedIn. If you're ever in question of what's going on in your paycheck,
yep.
we can help. Hit us up on LinkedIn. We're glad to help.
And look, do your research on what's allowed,
Yeah.
right? For as far as
Yeah.
deductions. So one of the key things is garnishments, right? Texas only allows certain type of garnishments. Do your research on that. Like
Yep.
a lot of consumer debts, such as credit cards, medical bills, and loans, aren't allowed if they're originated in Texas. They aren't allowed in the state of Texas. So to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So what do we got for safe talk tonight?
Safe talk. So, navigating the Texas payday law can be difficult for employers and employees. How do you balance enforcing lawful deductions while ensuring employees fully understand and agree to them in writing?
Excuse me. Oh God, excuse me.
Caught you off guard. Got you with
Oh,
a good
there.
one.
One, I found something that my daughter gave me that I'm looking for.
Oh,
Is employers send your employees right here to It's About Your Paycheck.
yeah.
Look at episode 126 and 37, respectively, and they will learn some things. Look up Texas. But beyond that, it's education, right?
Mm,
It's education. It's employee customer service.
yep.
Employee self service. I'm building out new systems. I'm like employee self service, but
Mhm,
no, it's employee customer service,
mhm,
and you gotta have that. Shout out to Gerard Hall because again, he's that dude that lit that fire for us
yeah.
to be like, oh wait, employee customer service, yeah, let's do that. And as I continue to say, it's no disrespect to any employer that doesn't do it comprehensively because employers aren't really mandated to do it in any fashion.
Mm,
A lot of employers play it by request.
yeah.
When an employee brings it up, we can address it. But a lot of times with the masses, you don't want to throw a lot of stuff out there. Employee handbook again.
Yeah.
Employee handbooks were really long back in the day. But what do we think? We get them, we throw them in. Walt did the research. 67% of employees actively don't read the employee handbook.
Yep.
70% of your
Hmm.
workforce has not read your handbook.
And
And
they're
so
doing
what
it on purpose.
yeah, because they're like, I ain't reading that thing.
Yep,
And but I get it because it's thick. It's, oh my
mhm,
God. What a lot of good HR leaders are doing is whittling it down to the stuff that actually needs to be communicated to employees. And
mhm.
that's still a lot. You're still going to get 20, 30 pages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it's organized properly,
Yeah.
you can skim through the subjects, right? You can, okay, internet policy. Yep, you already know what that's going to say.
If you
Don't watch Netflix at work. You know what I'm
you can
saying?
do a quick search, Control F,
Yes.
if you are
If it's
accessing,
digital.
if it's digital. That's what I was going to say. If it's just
Yep.
digital, or if it's in PDF and you're able to download it, you can do Control F, do a quick
Yep.
search, and find the topic that you want to find out about and educate yourself about. Right. So
Yes.
look,
Yes, for
it's
sure.
just basically what you said. The employers being transparent and educating
Yeah,
the employees, and the
that's it.
employees coming to an understanding of what is being done and what is legal for them, right? And something that we spoke to in one of our It's About Your Paycheck episodes is that employers historically haven't done a good job with educating the
Yeah.
employees. That's still not an excuse for you as the
Nope.
employee to not go learn something. All the information is out there. You can go to your state website and find it. You can ask a tax professional. You can get some free consultation from someone. They'll give you consultation. You can ask certain questions to say, hey,
Absolutely.
is this legal? Is my employer doing right by me? There are still ways and avenues for you as the employee to be empowered and to educate yourself in this, right?
For
So
sure.
that's just my 2 cents on it, man. I think
Yeah.
that's how you balance it out. The
Yeah.
employee has to be open. The employer has to be open and willing to empower their staff. And
It's yep. It's a two. It's a two. It's a two. It's what it takes two, right? It goes both ways. The employers got to meet you. Employers have to. We have to meet our people where they are.
what is it that you say about payroll and HR? Two sides of the same coin,
Two sides of the same coin. Yes, sir.
right?
Yep. That's right.
Mm,
And it's the same thing with employees, employers. And as an employee, you got come on. Look, I get it. We don't. None of us wanna. Some of us wanna work and don't have a problem with our work. But I think the folks that like their work, they end up getting thrown all the work. So there's
mm,
oh my god, there's too much now.
yeah,
But the majority of people don't want to go to work every day. But you got
yeah,
it's all about the attitude, right?
yep,
What do you say? Your attitude determines your altitude,
yep,
right?
yep,
If you have a decent attitude about things, you're gonna go far at work because you spend more time at work. Most of us spend more time at work or working than we actually do with our families.
yeah. That's true.
So, like, why would you want that experience to be a bad one? Your attitude determines that.
Yep,
You know what I mean? If you going to work causing issues and just being a mess and being negative
in a
and
minute.
being a menace to things, right? Of course, your day is gonna be bad,
Right.
and you're gonna. What does Tabitha say? Hey, have a good day, but if you don't have a good day, don't go messing up anybody
Mhm.
else's day. You know what I mean?
Yep. Being Dennis the
Yeah,
Menace.
man.
Dennis the Menace at work.
Then it's the menace. Don't do it. Believe me.
I'm aging
Again.
myself with that. Oh man.
Oh man, word. Because I haven't heard Dennis the Menace in a minute. And I have been hearing about Menace to Society. I think I
Oh
just
yeah,
heard
yeah.
who was it? I heard Ice Cube and John Singleton on Drink Champs. I think R.I.P. John Singleton. He passed away, right?
Did he? I don't think. Did he? Maybe.
I believe he
You
did.
might be right.
Heaven forbid I'm talking about it like that if he didn't.
Yeah,
But anywho,
2019.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on Drink Champs before that, and they were talking about Menace and stuff like this. So I got Menace to Society in my head.
Mm,
But yeah, man, I kind of equated to being a teacher's pet. Oh, y'all teachers' pets, y'all goody two.
yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
man, nah, man. Believe me, if you have a good attitude, there's this dude at the car dealership that I go to sometimes. Great attitude, man. He ain't got the best job in the world
Mm-hmm.
and whatever, but he's got such a great attitude that you think he has the best job in the world. You feel like, damn, I
Yeah.
want to be like this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about your attitude on things. So my point is, it's a two-way street. Yes, your company should be meeting you where
Yeah.
you are, but you should also be trying to
Yeah.
do a little
And to
better.
your point, it's contagious. The attitude is
Yes,
contagious, right?
yes,
Like
absolutely.
it could either push people away or it could infect others and to permeate and just really impact the
Yes,
new person that's coming in there. And it's
yes,
like, yeah, that
absolutely.
culture is everything.
Yeah, exactly right. So, yeah, that's it, folks. We hope you enjoyed the show. We love you. Check us out on the Work Defined Network now.
Yeah.
Big up to to Work Defined, man. We glad to be a part of the network. You'll be hearing more about it as we go along, and
Yeah.
they got some great shows out there for folks. Stay tuned, and yeah, shout out to Time Track Go,
And as
and
always,
yeah, look out for the next episode. Maybe we'll do true crime on the next one.
yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, that Wendy's one that you sent me that day,
Mm,
that was a good one.
yeah, it was.
Yeah. All right, Joe. Peace.
Peace.
We love you.
Before we sign off, here are a couple quick things. Don't forget to follow It's About Payroll on LinkedIn and It's About Your Paycheck on Facebook and TikTok.
Thank you for being part of our payroll community, and thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.